Hello, it is Dr. Chris Raquel, and I am back again with a video for today. I hope you all are doing amazingly. I wanted to do a second video for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in my content. You can also send me an email at askcrystalraquel@gmail.com if you find my content of interest to you, or if you'd like to see me answer a particular topic theme on YouTube, including whether or not you have an issue or scenario. So I have a great topic for you today. Is related to relationships, and this is something that was requested from me, or that I've discussed with someone recently, and it is regarding individuals, specifically men 40 and up, who have not married. So my advice, ladies, if you are going to date a man who's 40 and up and he has not been married, basically that's it. He's never been married. You're going to want to be careful. I personally do not recommend that individuals date men who are 40 plus who have never been married. Here's why. A lot of times we automatically think when we're younger, okay, yes, I've never been married, so I would love somebody who's never been married as well. So if I am, 35 and there's a man who's 40 plus and never been married, and that's a perfect candidate. No, that is not correct. When a man gets to 40 plus and you're in that dating age range that should be dating somebody who's 40 plus, as a woman, you would be better off dating a man who is 40 plus and divorced. One, if he was divorced, there's other things you'd have to watch for. However, dating a man who is 40 plus and divorced is better than dating a man who is 40 plus and never been married. When it comes to a man who's divorced and 40 plus, that tells you that he was able to commit to somebody for marriage. Of course, there's other things to look at in terms of why did he divorce or why did she divorce him, things like that. But this video is not necessarily for that. I want you to focus on the reason why it's not best to date someone who's 40 plus and never married, who is a man, if you are in that correct dating age. So when I say the correct dating age range to date a man who's 40 plus, that would mean a lady who is about anywhere from 30 to 42. And you can also not pay too much mind to the top number in that dating age range. So it could be 42, 43. But typically, I've said that it's not a good idea to have a huge age gap. And most people actually date people within a close age range to them. So I personally say more than 10 years is probably not the best fit. But if you're a 30-year-old, you've never been married, you don't have any children, you're going to want to give pause if the person is 40 plus and never been married, because this is the reason why. The man finds his wife. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So if an individual, a man, is 40 plus and he has never found a wife in that time frame, I would question what was he doing in that time and what type of life is he living that he did not find it reasonable or important to find a wife in order to have a legacy. Or if he wants to do things the right way, he would have found a wife and started having kids. And you're also going to want to be mindful if he's 40 plus, never married, and has multiple children from baby mothers, because that pretty much tells you he's likely going to do the same thing to you. Why would he have impregnated women 1, 2, 3 and never married them? So if you are interested in dating that man, just know he is possibly expecting to have a child with you and he may not commit. Be careful. So that's even worse if he's never married and has multiple kids. But I'm talking about in general. If he's 40 plus, never married, you're going to want to know why. Why? If he says he couldn't find a woman, there wasn't anyone good, run. There are so many good women, and I'm not saying that because I'm a woman at all, because think about it. What does a woman really need in order to get married? She needs to be kind, needs to have a good personality, needs to take care of herself, needs to, be potentially want kids if that's what the man wants, and pretty much beautify herself and be kind, sweet. And men are probably like, what? That's not all you need. But come on, we know really what it takes for a woman to find someone to be with her and love her. What it takes for a man, because the man are the providers, the man typically is going to have to show something for himself if the woman has certain standards for herself. So the man is going to need to show that he will potentially provide. He's going to show that he has goals, that he's going to show that he is going to be a good leader of a household. There's a lot of things, right? And of course, I always say, ladies, definitely find somebody who you're physically attracted to. But for the most part, overall, yes, ladies want a man who they are attracted to. But in terms of the attractiveness, because there's not so much that a man is looking for in a lady, attractiveness is higher on a man's request in a spouse than it is for a lady, because ladies are more looking for security and things of that nature. So yes, if you ladies are 30 to 42, 43 and you're looking for a man and you're interested in dating men who are 40 plus, I tell you, be very careful trying to date a man who is 40 plus and never been married, because that tells me he's not able to commit. There are so many nice ladies out here who are looking to be married. The term side chick didn't come out of nowhere. There are a lot of ladies who are willing to be men's side chicks because they are so in need, so in want of a man that they consider good. A lot of times, if a lady even sees a man who's in a relationship, that makes him, not me of course, that makes him more attractive in her eyes, because she knows, oh, he can commit, oh, okay, he has a family, oh, he does, okay, let me try to see if I can get in where I fit in. So ladies, there are so many good women out here. Men, there are so many good women out here, and you men know it. And let's just say the woman has never been married and she doesn't have any kids. And let's say she's looking for a man who has the same, never married and never had kids. Ladies, try to get a man a little younger than 40 then, because I say up until about the age 35 or so, a man would have at least been seriously searching for his wife. And what can also happen is, outside of the man not being able to commit, he might also have a tendency to be too picky. So because there are so many nice ladies out here, there's so many ladies who are willing to compromise for a man, because to say that they have a man, willing to, even pay for things for him, not saying you should, willing to do things for him, split all the bills with him, have many kids, change things about themselves to be with him. There's so many different women. So that tells me there's two things. He's either extremely picky, and picky meaning, let's say it's a man, he's like, what, I want my woman to have this color eyes, I want her to be this ethnicity that's not my own, I want her to have this type of hair, I want her to have this type of figure, I want her to have a small waist, I want her to have a huge hips, I want her to have this, oh okay, no, she needs to have this, okay, what degree does she have, oh, what job does she work, how much money does she make, she can have 2 kids, but it has to be from the same father. I'm not saying that the kids thing is something that a man can't request. I'm just adding all of that in together, right? And that is what we're seeing. So that will let me know that he either is extremely picky, or he does not want to commit to anybody, because there's no reason in all these years that somebody has, knowing that they need to be able to, knowing that they want children, there is no reason why a man would have to wait till he's 40, 45 to be able to be finding a wife. It makes no sense. His priorities are probably off. He does not want to commit to somebody. He may have an issue. He might have a lot of experience with women. Keep that in mind. He might have been through so many women in his life that now it's difficult for him to commit, and he may have some issues even being faithful. And then the other thing, like I said, is an individual who may be way too picky. You don't want someone like that. And as we get older, we are more particular about what we want. So the older the person gets, you got to be careful. And I will say, for anyone who wants to say, man or woman, who wants to say, well, what about the woman? What if she's 40 plus and never been married? That's completely different. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. most women, a lot of women would like to be married. It's just who is going to choose them, right? It's not necessarily that she didn't want to be married. It's just maybe she wasn't selected by a man, or maybe he didn't, maybe somebody just didn't pick her. There's so many different women, and there's a select number of men who are good candidates for marriage. And I'm not saying this is anything bad about anybody, but if you're watching my video as a man, you're probably one of the good candidates. So basically, there's so many women, and there's a certain amount of men who have the character and have what it is that a woman wants, that there's gonna be women who can't find somebody of quality. So it's not considered a bad thing if a woman is 40 plus. It's bad for her if she wanted to be married in a certain age range, but it doesn't reflect poorly on her, I should say, for the most part. Of course, there's certain cases, right? So basically, ladies, please be careful. And this is not saying anything bad about people. I'm not bashing men. I'm just saying, be very particular. If you get excited, if you're 30 plus is the good range to be dating somebody who's 40 or so. If you are 30 plus and you think it's a plus that you're single, never married, and you're looking for a man who has the same, think again. You may be better off finding somebody who is 40 plus and is divorced. And of course, there's things that come with that, but we know at least 50% of people do end up in divorce, so it's not uncommon anymore. However, you would be better off dating that man who's 40 plus and divorced than dating the man who's 40 plus and never married. Because I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many things that come up with that person. You may think that, oh no, it's fine, it's perfect. No, that tells you that he did not find it reasonable to try to get married. And he may tell you, well, no, it's not that. I just wanted to, do stuff for myself, I wanted to make more money. That's what I wanted. I wanted to make sure I was making $100,000 first so I can provide. And if that is true, the only time you would listen to that and take notice and be like, okay, that's okay, I'm going to consider dating him, is if he was not dating women. If he was dating women, potentially living with them, having long-term relationships like 5 years, multiple years, no, still run, because he was willing to waste someone's time, potentially, not always. Every woman, if a woman's in a situation, they're obviously a willing participant, but that tells you that he says he needs money. He needs to make $100,000 a year or more, but instead of focusing on this money like he claimed he wanted to do, he still felt the need to find a woman but not fully commit for marriage. So don't get mad at me, anyone. I'm just speaking the truth. Be very mindful. And men, I want to hear from you. Do you think that's true? Do you think that there may be something off if a man is 40 plus and never married, or never moved towards marriage with someone? What do you think about that? Because that's what I'm seeing. That's what I find. Because I know, men, if you want a wife, you start looking for a wife or wanting a wife from when you're mid-20s, 30, 35, because it's time to settle down. It's time for you to find your wife, find your one person, and establish a family. And having a family, that is really what moves your legacy forward. And another thing I might consider, I might say, did that person, what was their home life like? What type of situation did they grow up in? Because I see a lot of men who aren't getting married and not getting married at 40 plus ever, is they didn't grow up in a household like that. If you're somebody who wants a household that has a mom, a dad, has a stable family, look at that person's home life. If they're 40 plus, did they grow up without seeing a 2-parent household? Did they grow up maybe not being told that it's a good thing to marry? Did their mom tell them like, oh, you don't have to get married, these women are out here trifling? Or did they just get raised seeing that it's only a mom, that there's never supposed to be a father in the household, that it's okay, you just live like that and you make broken homes? Consider that as well. But yes, let me know down below, because this is something that came up for me recently and I wanted to talk about it, because I know for me, I feel like once you hit that age range, once you are 30 plus as a lady, you want to date men, and you're thinking, oh, it's a great thing, he's 40 plus, never married like me. No, think again, because it's possible he has a commitment issue, his home life doesn't match with yours, or what was the other one? So he's not good, he doesn't want to commit, or he might be overly picky, and you don't want a man who's going to be overly nitpicking on you. There was someone that I saw where he was like, yep, you know, I'll be so scared if my lady gains weight when she's pregnant. Another one was like, oh, if she gains weight after pregnancy, I'm going to tell her she needs to go in the gym. Things like that, right? Like, you do not want a man that's so picky like that, because it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your mental health, first of all. So if a man marries you and you're somebody who likes to exercise, you're someone that is good at, you care about your health, and yeah, I mean, he's going to know that once you have a child, you may gain weight, and then what's going to happen after that is you're going to lose weight because you want to be healthy. You don't want to have a poor health. So there's no reason why a man should ever be telling a lady, you know, you need to lose weight, if he knows that she's somebody who cares about her health and those sorts of things. Of course, it's completely different if maybe the lady she was somebody who cared about her health, then all of a sudden she just started having mental health issues and started eating everything. Then of course, if somebody loves you, they're gonna talk to you and be like, hey, like, are you okay? Like I'm worried about your health. But a man should never be telling a lady, hey, you know, you don't look good, I don't like what I'm seeing anymore, especially if you're married. That's crazy. But anyway, back to the topic. If you're 40 plus as a man, do you think that what I'm saying makes sense? Do you think that someone having at least 40 years on this earth and never being married as a man, do you think that says something about him? And what about ladies? To give me some of your experiences, have you encountered people who are 40 plus and they ended up not really wanting to commit? Yeah, let me know down below. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.